exactly 16. So now that I'm in Santa Cruz all age, I kept going through my life, like I said. Being now living with my mother and my stepfather, my mother began to have more children, and I now have to take the responsibilities to help with my siblings. I had to wash, cook, clean. To be honest, I felt like Cinderella, like literally, just not the love story. And my stepfather was never mean to me because he did his best to help me. Like he would try to come home from work and cook. So it would be between he and I with the cooking. But I had to do everything, literally. So I had to clean the house, my mother's room, the bathroom, her bathroom, my sister's room, the hallway, the hall, the living room, the dining room, the veranda, the car garage, the kitchen, the back patio, my room that I share with my other two siblings, our bathroom, the outside kitchen patio. And I'm telling you, this is sweeping, mopping, going on my knees and polishing the floor with a polish wax. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it was a red wax that I used to have to put on a piece of cloth and go on my knees and wax the whole floor, and then use a coconut brush to shine after I wax it, this whole entire house, and mop it. The floor was glistening and beautiful when I was done. Everything clean and beautifully glistening shine. You know, that's how I know how to keep a house and know how to do all those things. Clean the windows. After finishing that, I have to make sure that my sisters are all bathed, their hair combed. I had to take care of our uniforms. I had to wash all my siblings' uniforms and their clothes. And this is not washing machine. This is hand wash. I'm outside, washing with my hands. All my siblings, right? So remember, my mom had 5 children, but 1 of my sisters were with their grandma. So I had 4 siblings plus the new baby, and she's now pregnant again. So I'm helping with that baby and making sure that I'm cooking her lunches while she was pregnant, and I was stopped again from school for a whole entire year, for the whole of that pregnancy. I had to stay home and help her. Yes. I remember I had so much to do that when I was in school, at the time when I was in school, I never really had time to study or do my homework and stuff because I had so much on my plate. I had to be washing my sister's uniform and hanging them behind the fridge back, their socks and stuff. I'll comb their hair from overnight and tie it down so that way in the AM I wouldn't be able to have to comb their hair. I have to clean the house before I go to school. And then I have to leave school and come home and cook dinner. Yeah. I was doing, by 12 years old, I was like second mom. I'm doing everything. When they're in their beds resting at night, I'm outside washing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of clothes hanging out. And I'm talking, only Jamaicans know what a line is, that you tie from one tree to the next tree. A line can be, let me see, A line can be at least 10 yards long, right? And it's full of clothes, of my siblings' clothes, my mother's clothes, sometimes my stepfather's clothes. But he would do his best to do his own clothes, and he would help me to wash his wife's clothes. But when it's a lot for him, I had to do it all, right? Because he had to work. He's never made my mother work. He did his best to provide for her as much as he could. But I had all that responsibility. And on top of it, I haven't gone into details about the treatment, the abuse by my mother, because I just don't want to get into that part. But I did. Like, for example, I really didn't have a childhood. I didn't know how to ride a bicycle. My siblings were outside playing, but I had to be responsible to take care of dinner and lunches for school and making sure uniforms are ready and pressed, making sure that their homework is finished. And when I ask for time for myself to get stuff done, it's like, no, you got to do this, you got to finish this. And so I would try to cram in at the wee hours. If I have a test coming up, I'll try to cram as much as I could in the wee hours, so I'm lacking rest and all of that, you know. But I did it. I wasn't scoring the scores that I really wanted to. I would get like a B plus and a C. The time when I get an A, I was so happy for it. I was like at school on break time trying to study, because I know I don't have no time to study when I'm at home, because there's so much that I have to do. So the time when I was 13 years old, we observed the Sabbath. And as a young teenager at the time, I wanted to show my karate skills, because I was telling a friend, we had some friends from abroad who came and visit, and the guy was like, yeah, I know, I do karate as well, and he's showing me his nunchuck and showing me some of his thing outside. And so I was showing him my pose and my kicks and stuff like that, and he was showing me some self-defense. My mother was watching me through the window. I did not know this, but I didn't think I was doing anything wrong at the same time. But as soon as the Sabbath was over, I noticed she was giving me these looks, and I know when she gives me those looks, I know something isn't right. However, I went to school the Monday and came back. Those friends were gone. And I came home the Monday, and I didn't get to get out of my uniform properly. And she grabbed me in the kitchen, and first she was beating me with the broom, and she wasn't satisfied. And I was like, what did I do? Because I'm confused. I'm just like so confused to just coming from school and getting attacked. I'm trying to figure out, what did I do? Like, I know I did everything that I was supposed to do before I left. Now I'm trying to hurry up to come home, and I know that I'm not late. I'm trying to hurry up to come home to come help with dinner, to get dinner prepared and everything. But I'm just being pulled into the kitchen and start being whooped with the broom. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? And she's like, oh, Pamasabatia, do karate. Oh, with the man and blah, blah. And just talking all type of craziness. And I was like, what the hell? Then I see she come up with this, what you call those, the electric wire that runs the electric thing on the street. She had the man cut piece of the electric wire and give it to her and start beating me with that. Like, I'm just making an example of the abuse, the type of abuse that I got. Right? My whole mouth was swollen. My face, my hand, I still have cuts on my hand from the wire that is still on my hand. Right? The next day when I'm supposed to go to school, I was so ashamed. I tie a kerchief around my mouth because my whole mouth was swollen. And I had a friend, her name was Carrie Ann at the time. And she said to me, Kedisha, why you have that kerchief around your mouth? And as tears were saying, she said, what happened? I used to tell her the beatings that I used to get, and she used to be so sad, and she used to comfort me and hug me. And she said, let me see. And I'm like, no. And then she's like, let me see. And I showed her, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she started crying with me. I wish that I could have found her again, because she was the only person that I had as a friend at that time. And we lost contact with each other over the years. I haven't seen her again. I don't know what had happened to her. But those were the things that I had to endure. And I would just get beating out of nowhere for what I'm not sure of. The other thing that she liked to do was to beat me and tell me about what happened with my dad and her by using that R word and beating me, and also telling me she was only 14 and it's because of me why she have all these other kids. And I'm like, you know? So every time when you see me, and then I would say, I feel like my mom didn't love me. These are the things that made me believe she did not love me, because of the abuse and the way how she spoke to me, the way how she treated me. She didn't have anywhere to send me to, so she had me stuck with her, and so I became like her helper, because that's how I felt, washing, cooking, cleaning, all these things. But guess what? It made me who I am today, because I am very independent, knowing how to clean my own home, take care of my own clothes, and take care of anything that I need to do, which makes me the great cook that I am today.